for a while with those tickle bitties. So I'm talking to her, and then Victoria walks along, and I'm like, whoo, I'm with Jasmine too. Jasmine's there too. She runs after Victoria, and she's like, come here. And Victoria's with her grandma, okay? Victoria's with her grandma, and they're just there with each other. It's her and her grandma. I go back to her room. We bang a little bit. She sucks my dick, shit like that. It was a great time. So I'm aroused. She's grabbing my wiener, pulling on it, jerking it and shit, tugging it, sucking it, whatever. Just things that girls do because guys can't do that because they don't have, like, it's kind of hard to get down there, especially if you have a stomach. So she's sucking me off with her grandma in the room. This is about 4 a.m. She's sucking me off with her grandma in the room. Her grandma gets up, and I have to act as a pillow. So I have to hide my head under some pillows, suffocate for about 2 minutes, and then she pulls a pillow off my face. I'm like, and her grandma wakes up. She falls over my shoes, and I'm butt ass naked in her bed. Falls over my shoes, goes to the bathroom. I get dressed. I run out of the room, have the door slam, run down the hall as fast as I can. I'm like running like the Flash. I'm booking it. And then her grandma like pops out of the doorway, and she looks down the hall. Nothing was there. I looked back for a second to make sure she didn't peep out the door, but this was after I was gone. I just heard a door open, and I was just assuming that it was her grandma, because it probably was. It's 4 a.m. Who the fuck else is up at 4 a.m.? I met Flo the next day. He's a German man too. He's bald. You guys can check him out on my YouTube channel, Jazzy's with 2 eyes. It's called Messing with Flo. He's a bald-headed guy. Great guy. And he's like, oh, do you want a beer? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll take a beer. So this is my 4th beer today on the boat. And I'm sitting there drinking this beer, thinking to myself, man, what if he has like a knife on him or something? He tries to stab me if I get too drunk. But it all worked out in the end. So this is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We just got back on the boat. We came from Costa Maya. And I meet Flo with Lucas and Andy. They're all 3 together. They're in the hot tub. They're talking and shit. He buys me a Bacardi Cola. That's my first drink of the night. After that beer, because I don't consider beer alcohol. So, buys me this mixed drink, which is Bacardi and Coca-Cola. It's a great blend. I actually have it on my menu over there for one of my specials. So if you guys ever come to my bar when I get invested in one, you can order one of those, and I'll give it to you. So he buys me this drink, and I'm like, oh, this is really good. So then I have dinner with his family, right? They're loaded with alcohol. They got alcohol up the wazoo. Okay. So I'm drinking with them, sitting there eating dinner. Victoria's with me, obviously. This is the 3rd night before we get off. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to take Victoria out for a walk. We're going to go for a walk. We'll catch up with you guys later. They're in the casino at like 9 o'clock at night. Or 10 or 11 or 1 a.m. in the morning. So I get back to the casino. I see them in there. I'm like, Flo, Lucas, Andy, what's up? And they're like, oh, man, what is up, man? You are the chosen one. I'm like, what do you mean the chosen one? He's like, look at your hair, man. You look like a Nazi, man. And I'm like, well, thanks. That's really relieving. It's not like I didn't hear that all throughout high school. They're like, come with us. So me and Victoria go with them for about, maybe an hour or so. We hang out, go to the bars and clubs and shit. And there's this, and then Victoria and I, we get off. We leave. We're telling them, like, oh, yeah, she needs to go to bed. She wants to go to bed. But we really ended up fucking in the room. We fucked like 4 times. So I'm sitting there drinking, talking to Victoria, sharing my thoughts, and then she makes out with me. We make out for about 25 minutes in the hallway. I felt like I was madly in love with her. And then she goes back to Canada, and she's like, yeah, I'm back on my routine. I don't like you no more. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Do your thing. But I'm with Victoria in the hallway, and then some other guy from Michigan comes up with some girl with some tig old biddies, man. Tig old biddies. And they're like all hanging out, man. I'm just looking at her, trying not to be weird or anything. I'm like, so, What were you guys doing? He's like, oh, dude, I got cum on my shoe. He's drunk as shit. And I'm like, yeah, you should probably just put that in the washer when you get home. And he's like, but if my parents find out, dude, they're not gonna find out. Just tell them it's toothpaste. That's what I did. So we go back into Victoria's room. Her grandma's in the room sleeping, and we start fucking. Right, I'm going hard in this shit. We're laying down. I'm railing her. Getting our shit on. May I advise you, I smoked that day. This is the day we got back from Cozumel. So the third day before we have to get off the boat. So it's technically the second day because it was in the morning. So the second day before we had to get off the boat. I'm drunk as shit. Right? And I'm sitting there with Victoria, smacking her ass, grabbing the boobs and everything like that. Kissing her on the neck. 'Cause girls like that. Girls like that shit. And then the night ends. I go back to my room. Well, actually, I didn't go back to my room that day. I actually stayed out till the morning. I met some guy named Justin and Hillary, and some girl named Hillary. And so we're sitting there drinking and talking. I'm starving, dude. It's like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Restaurants aren't open at 5 a.m. So we go to the cafe. We sit there for about an hour. I have a bowl of cereal, right? And they're telling me all about these suicide stories about how their friends killed themselves and overdosed from drugs and shit. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I hear about enough of this on the news. I don't really need to hear about this shit. Blowing my nose at the table and shit.
Call from Rajalopic Lewis. Call from Rajalopic Lewis.
And anyways, so this is the next day, right? This is when I met CJ, and we were in Cozumel. And let me tell you guys, I smoked in Cozumel with a taxi cab driver. He had the best crib ever. You walk in, it looks like a fucking homeless alley, right? Garbage everywhere, no cars, nothing, old bikes, garbage, papers, newspapers, shit like that. And then we walk up these stairs, right? So I'm walking up these stairs like, so this dude's probably got a gun on him, CJ. What are we about to do? And he's like, nigga, we are about to beat this dude's ass if he tries to pull on us. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it, bet. But instead, this guy whips out a bag of weed. Okay. I'm talking like maybe about more than this, maybe about a whole bag of this. This is Rockstar, by the way, great strain. And we just sit there and we're smoking. I can't even finish half a bowl, dude. The weed is so good in Cozumel. Super strong. I bought this. Alright, so this bowl right here. I got this in Cozumel. You guys can see it says Cozumel right here on the label. So, we get to his crib, I'm hitting the bowl. Shit like that. I have to pack that. So I'm going to continue to tell my story while I pack this. So I'm sitting in his house, smoking a bowl. CJ is smoking this fat 2-gram joint. Oh yeah, dude, this is awesome strain of weed. This is called Rockstar, by the way. Great strain. I'm going to go ahead and be cautious with this real quick. Put this right up in here in front. Oh yeah, I had to empty that out anyway. Just some tobacco in there. I usually mix my weed with tobacco if I'm smoking at home. Just to kind of cover up the scent. But I'm sitting there with CJ. He's smoking a 2-gram joint. And throughout the whole entire day, we were fried, dude. We thought we were gonna miss the boat, but we got back at like maybe lunchtime, and the boat didn't leave till about 4. And I thought it was 4 o'clock. So I'm running back to the boat with CJ. He drops us off at the dock. The cab driver drops us off at the dock. And I'm just sitting there with CJ like, dude, we got to get back to the boat, man. The boat's about to leave, but really the boat wasn't about to leave for about another 4 hours. So I feel like a complete dumbass when I look at my phone. And I see Lucas on Cozumel. This was before we smoked. So I see Lucas. He's like, I'm like, oh, come with us, dude. We're about to smoke some weed. And he's like, nah, man, I'm about to go shopping. And I'm like, all right, you do you. Because I'm a really open guy about shit like that. If somebody wants to do something else, I usually let them because of a girl that I dated. She always wanted to do her own shit, and I was just like, no, come with me. But after a while, you tend to just let things go, and you let the people do their thing, and that's the best thing to do. So me and CJ, we get to this guy's house, we smoke, and then we get back to the boat at about noon. My parents are there, right? They see me eating. I'm high as shit. And they're like, "Where have you been all day?" And I'm like, "Well, I just got off the island. I'm back on the boat. I took a nap." And they're like, "No, no, no. You didn't get in your room last night." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. How are you gonna tell me?" My voice is completely gone at this point because I was up all night partying. I was like, "I didn't really know about this shit." And I'm just trying to play it off like, yeah, I'm trying to keep my voice all low so I can actually talk and make some sense of myself. My voice keeps cracking like that. So I'm sitting there talking to my mom and dad. I'm high as shit, and I try not to look at them. I try to like rest my eyes. And I slept that day. I slept a good amount of time that day. I slept actually till the next morning, from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to like 8 o'clock in the morning, because I didn't sleep for like 4 days straight. I was up all night drinking, partying with Bryant. So Saturday comes along. We have a C day. So I'm up all day, just hanging with my parents, doing shit like that because I was punished. My mom and dad were like, "You're gonna be with us for the rest of the day." I go to the gym with my sister, work on the muscles. Try to work the biceps a little bit. I was doing the exercise machine that goes like this. I walked on the treadmill for about 10, 15 minutes. And then I get off, and then I go to the casino with my mom and dad. I win her about maybe $250. I won my mom $250 on her last spin, on her very last spin. Which I was proud of myself. Believe me, I was proud of myself. I have a lot left. So I introduced her to Victoria. I'm like, "Mom, this is Victoria." And she's like, "Oh, hi, Victoria." And I'm like, "Yeah, isn't she beautiful?" And she's like, "Yeah, she's very pretty." I was like, "Is it okay if I hang out with her for a little while?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, just be in this area." But instead, we went off, fucked around, got drunk. She didn't really drink because she's 18. So she just turned 18. And I get her drunk. We go back to the room. We start fucking again. And this was the last night. She went all out. She stripped me naked, stripped her naked. We hopped in her bed. No fucks given. Her grandma tripped over my shoes again. I didn't give a fuck. I acted as a pillow again. She just hid my shoes and shit like that. She was taking off her bra and shit, getting 100% naked. And then she lays on me. I'm hard as shit. So she's like, "Okay, I want you to put your dick in me." So I was like, "All right, going ahead. I'm going raw, right? I'm going raw. So if I come, I might either come inside her or come on her." So I chose to come on her. I pulled out as fast as I could. Like, I felt it coming, man. I may have gotten a drip inside of her, but it wasn't anything to get her pregnant. So I may have gotten a drip inside her. And I blast, like, on the bed sheets, on her back, everywhere. And she's like, "Oh, oh, oh, you feel so good." And then she tells me that night, like, I'm really good at sex. So I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." I've had it maybe about 35 times throughout my past 2 years of being 18 to 20. And that's pretty good for a 2 year span. You casually have sex, but you're really good at it, so you don't really have to do it a lot, unless girls really really know you and they're like, "Oh yeah, come fuck me." So yeah, I'm fucking Victoria. I come all over her back, and then I just leave the room and I'm telling her, "I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. This is the last night." And then I find flow. I find flow, and we are hanging out about 4 a.m. to 5, and we have to get off the boat in about 6 hours. So we hang out for the next 6 hours. You know, great time, great time. So we drink all the way till noon, and then we get off the boat. You know, we were smoking, we were drinking, we were fucked up. I slept all the way on the plane ride home. So I'm getting home, and this is the end of the show, by the way. So I get home. It's about 9 o'clock at night, and this driver comes to pick us up. He's holding the sign that says my last name, which is Radulovich, and it says Radulovich, and then we walk over to the guy. He's an old guy, he's like, "Oh yeah, we have cookies and water in the back of the Lincoln Navigator," and I'm thinking to myself, "Man, this dude's really cool." So we get the ride home. I go to sleep. That was the end of my trip. It was a great trip. I enjoyed it a lot, but thank you guys for coming out to the show. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure you guys drop a fat thumbs up for this show. I spent a lot of time thinking back about 4 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago to a month. So it's a lot to remember. But it's something I would remember for the rest of my life, and I would never do anything to give that up. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys drop a fat thumbs up. Let's get at least 20 likes on this video if we can. Get about 40 views, and I'll see you guys in the next show.